recently, some of the visitors to my website wrote in questions, and they wanted me to answer them. So here are 5 that I have for you today. The first one comes from Bailey from New York City. She writes, I like the titles of your Catherine books. Which one was the toughest book to write? Well, that is a very easy answer for me, Bailey. The hardest by far was the Red, White, and Blue Crew. I knew I wanted to have a book about a character running for class president. The problem was twofold. Part of the problem was, in all the books I've read in the past, it's always the main character that wants to run and he or she gets elected, or if they don't, they lose by 1 vote. Too many books have that plot device in it. So I wanted something a little different. So I'm not going to tell you who actually runs. Maybe it's Catherine, maybe not, maybe she wins, loses, who knows. Read it to find out. But the real problem came when the story didn't seem fresh. It just seemed like the same old, and I needed a platform. Now, when my daughter ran for a student government, you know, she had a lot of good ideas what she wanted to change. But when you read books, most of the characters want no homework, or they want to change the cafeteria food. They're okay, they're important things to do in a school, but I needed something with a little bit of a hook. So I was on chapter 6, and my Catherine books are only 8 chapters each, and I wasn't feeling good about this one at all. I kind of was just had that feeling in my stomach. So I just put it away for a day, and I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and all of a sudden I thought, I've got an idea for a platform, something a little bit different, something I think kids will appreciate and teachers would like as well. So my editor emailed me, and she's like, how's it going? And I said, Stephanie, I said, it stinks so far. I said, I have a new idea, can I take it in a different direction? Because the book was due. And she said, absolutely. If you have a better idea, run with it. So I worked really hard, and I had to rewrite the entire book. So that one was really difficult for me. Daniela from Howell, New Jersey says, you came to my school last year, and I loved your visit, but why didn't you show us a picture of Catherine? She looks just like my sister, Kara. Well, I did not show you a picture of Catherine because Catherine didn't exist back then. I was writing the series, but I don't illustrate the book. That's Phyllis Harris. And Phyllis, she was probably thinking at the time I came to your school about what Catherine would look like, but at that time I'm pretty sure she was just sort of a little spark in her imagination. So I couldn't show you Catherine because she did not exist yet. Good question. Third question, Christina from AB Series School in Perth Amboy. That's New Jersey. My librarian read your book to us, your first Catherine book to us, but we want to know why Jan, Stephanie, and Phyllis are in your dedication. I love doing the dedications of my books, and can I tell you a secret? They take me just as long to do as writing the actual book. These dedications, Stephanie, obviously, she's my editor, and without her, the book wouldn't exist, and she's really helped me along the way. She just made my story, I like to say, sing. She kind of made it. You know, when I would hand in a story, she would just say, change this, or maybe you need to smooth this out, or add some details to this page. And I really value her opinion, and so I owe her a lot of gratitude. And when I say she's my editor, an editor is like a teacher. Your teacher helps you make your stories better. Well, Stephanie is my teacher, and she helps me. Phyllis, well, as I said a few minutes ago, she was the artist for the series. She's the illustrator. So I had to thank her because she gave me such cute characters, didn't she? I love every single one. Now, Jan is a very special friend of mine. Jan, you could say, is sort of like an editor. She's in my critique group. That means when I get my ideas for Catherine, or if I want to run something by her, I'll send her an email. We've never met in person, and she'll say, oh, Lisa, that's so funny, go with it, or I don't think that's too gross, you can use that, or I don't know about that name, it kind of sounds like you're forcing it a little bit, can you think of something else? So she helps me get my manuscript in really great shape, and I get to bounce ideas off of her before I give it to Stephanie, okay? So it's kind of a little trick. You probably have somebody at school like Jan. Do you do peer editing in school? It's a great technique. Before you hand in an assignment to your teacher, you give your manuscript, your paper, your assignment to a friend, and they'll help you with punctuation and maybe tell you if something's not clear to them. So Jan is sort of like a peer editor to me. Question number 4. I like saying Crockett's name, and I think it's a funny name. Why did you give him that name? Well, that's from Claire, from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I actually wanted a name different than Catherine. Catherine is a lovely name, or else I wouldn't have chosen it, but it's a very common name. It's a very common name. So Crockett's different. And I wanted something a little bit snappy, snazzy, and I needed a male character. So I started writing him, and actually his name was not Crockett in the beginning. He was nameless, no name at all. And all of a sudden, I started to weave some details into the story, and all of a sudden, this character, this boy cousin, was an outdoors fan. He loved to, hang out and hike and camp and things like that. So all of a sudden, that just made me think of Davy Crockett. So the name Crockett kind of came to my mind, and it stuck. So that's where I got his name from. And the last one. When are you announcing the winner for your contest? I hope that I win because I can't afford to buy your books. Please pick my name. Well, that is from Brian. Brian, I have good news. The contest is only one more week, so you only have about another week to wait until the winner is announced, and I'll put it on my website. But don't spend your allowance on my books. What you can do, go to your library or your school library or public library, and they'll have my books eventually, and you can read them there, so you can save your money for some other books if you need to, okay? So always use your library card. Well, they're my first 5 questions, and if you have a question for me, bring it on. I'd love to answer it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.